According to the United States Department of Agriculture, there are currently 23.5 million Americans living in a food desert with very limited access to fresh, nutritious food. This is a map of all of the regions in the United States that are currently designated by the USDA as food deserts. This may not seem problematic to most of us, but as you can see, there is a food desert located in our very own backyard, less than 5 miles from the CSULB campus. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, a food desert is a geographical area where residents live farther than 1 mile from any type of grocery establishment that sells healthy, affordable food. The USDA decided that they would qualify any area without a grocery store within a 1 mile radius of food desert because many of the people who live in these food deserts have limited access to transportation. To be qualified as a food desert, besides having limited access to fresh foods, a community has to be considered low income. The USDA site has a food desert locator, but it often misses small areas or neighborhoods that would technically qualify as food deserts, but are missed due to an error in the site's database. Some of these forgotten areas are located within 1 mile of a small neighborhood market, which the database mistakes for a grocery store. Unfortunately, however, these so-called markets offer very little fresh food, if any, and sell mostly highly processed convenience foods and junk foods. Although there is no formal grocery store within a 1 mile radius, these food deserts have high access to cheaper alternatives such as fast food restaurants and convenience stores. Unfortunately, the absence of a nutritious food option fosters poor eating habits among people living in these areas. The lack of access to healthy foods within a close proximity forces people to conform to the selection of foods available, and inevitably, they become victims of the food desert. Within these food deserts, convenient prices are offered by fast food restaurants such as Taco Bell. For example, Taco Bell offers 10 full-size meals on their dollar menu. These types of offers are more economic than having to commute to a grocery store. The close proximity of convenience stores coupled with the low prices of fast food restaurants keeps people within the cycle of constantly eating unhealthy foods. Unfortunately, the easy access foods that are obtainable by people living in food deserts do not come with a warning label. Many people living in food deserts are not even aware of the potential harms of their situation. Although it is more economical in the short term to consume the unhealthy foods offered in a food desert, in the long run it will have a detrimental impact on their health. As a consequence of the unhealthy food provided by the food desert, people living within them have statistically higher rates of obesity, cardiovascular disease, and type 2 diabetes. American Journal of Preventative Medicine writer Nicole Larson explains that wealthy neighborhoods with greater access to supermarkets and limited access to convenience stores tend to have healthier diets and lower levels of obesity. Funny enough, only about 6 miles away from our local food desert on the other side of the city is one of the most affluent areas in all of Long Beach. You will find a Gelson's, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, and a farmer's market, all existing within one intersection. These high-end grocery stores and massive farmer's market provide this neighborhood with high access to delectable selections of fresh fruits and vegetables year-round. It is no surprise that the people living in these more affluent areas with quick and plentiful access to healthy foods have fewer health problems than those who live in the food deserts.
I don't lose by accent, I can't do it, I don't know.
Why is it that in a country that prides itself on equality, some people have access to this, while others have access to this?
Swimming in December.